One and all to the testing that you'll never hear.
Now I can really see the...
Can you really?
I can see them now.
Do they look even? Do mine look as loud as yours?
Maybe. Maybe if I just need to speak a little louder.
If I lean back like this, does this look right?
It looks bigger.
Okay.
Okay.
I think I'd rather talk normally.
If we talk about this level,
okay,
that should be fine.
I'm going to talk this level.
Okay, let's see.
Hello, dig for bones.
I don't think anyone knows I'm the one who cut off your toes and put them in the drawer with the socks.
Okay, how can I do the intro?
I was watching you. I was watching you thinking, he's going to realize that he can't do the mouth harp.
Hello!
There you go.
Hello, and welcome to the Least Haunted Podcast, a place where science, skepticism, humor, and anthropology meet to discuss all things spooky, haunting, supernatural, and sometimes just the plain ridiculous. I'm your host, Cody Franks, and joining me, as almost always, is the chronicler and keeper of commemorative, chronologically consistent cataloging and catering of carefully crafted canon consisting of comedic crumbs criticizing the conspiratorial incredulous.
Garth. Boy, I don't know how careful I am of a curator of all that stuff, but thank you for the moniker. That was fantastic.
I forgot to put curator.
Oh, I thought you said I was a careful curator. You
Did
said
I?
I was a careful... What else would I have been?
You were
A careful collector, maybe.
chronicler. That's in there.
Oh, okay.
Keeper.
Well,
Cataloging.
Someone who chronicles and keeps and...
Yeah,
yeah.
I just don't know why I didn't
There's
think...
an implied curation.
I know, I just don't know why I didn't think of the... I was trying to think...
You had like 16. That was pretty good. Anyway,
Yeah.
Welcome to our anniversary episode. And that alliteration was not only wonderfully long, but also is to do with this. This whole episode is about... We usually do a Q&A, but this is more like kind of a Q&A, but also origin stories and about the history of the podcast and the way we manage all of the things to do with... this little universe we've created.
A chronicling
the
of our rise to power.
This is a chronicling of our rise to power. So Cody and I ride on mighty steeds across the podcast verse. Yes. Anyway, hi Cody, how are you? You said you had a spooky check.
Yeah.
We should start with the spooky check.
Okay.
Okay.
A lot of energy coming out. This is great.
Yeah, we need it. This is our anniversary. We're not gonna be like, hey guys, this is our third year.
You
so
also
tired.
Might notice that the audio might be a little bit echoey. We are still dealing with microphone issues.
Yeah, I swear I'm gonna have it together. I just need to. I sent it in, and I sent in a request. I think I'm gonna be able to get it fixed.
Mm-hmm.
Our mics are Shure mics, which are really high end.
Sure, MV7.
Yeah, they're really good. And I contacted the people, and it sounds like they're gonna help me out so I can actually get it fixed, because the part that broke is not an expensive part, and I'd hate to chuck the whole thing. Mm-hmm. So hopefully that will happen, and with our next episode, the first of season 4.
Yeah.
Is that going to be season 4? Because this is our 3rd anniversary.
Yeah. It's season 4, but year 3.
So it's season...
Our first anniversary
was the last episode of the
season 1.
Yeah. So this is the last episode of season 3.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, this is the season finale.
We'll find out if we end on a cliffhanger. Anyway, in any case, when we do our next episode, we should have good audio. We'll have our own mics. But yeah, spooky check.
Yeah, okay. So, a couple nights ago, I got up in the middle of the night around 3 a.m. So early morning. I usually get up a couple times a night to go check the wood burner. You got to make sure the wood, it's stocked. Otherwise, you're going to freeze. Mm-hmm. And so...
Hopefully not for much longer. It's going to warm up pretty soon.
Yeah, and it was still raining. And so when it's raining, I'll take a couple pieces of wood and I put them next to the wood burner so that I don't have to go outside to on my porch and get wet and uncover the wood and all that.
It's the wood rotation.
Yeah.
Because wood that you leave outside, even if it's covered over, is going to get a little wet. Mm-hmm. So you have to have the rotation where it's like, you have the wood fireplace, and it heats up the room and the area surrounding the fireplace. So if you put wood right around the fireplace, it'll dry out.
Yeah.
You use that wood to continue heating the fire, but you got to replenish it with new wood and keep the rotation going. You do not want to end up with no fire and all wet wood.
Hey, take a guess at how long I've kept this current fire going without having to restart from scratch.
How long?
I am on my 3rd week.
I restart every morning almost.
Nope. I
wow.
keep
It's because you
coals,
keep getting up in the middle of the night, man.
and I keep coals on there, and it gets
Yeah.
kind of tricky when I need to sweep the stovepipe. You know, I have to
I'm
like.
sure it's
yeah.
hot. That's a hell of
That's
a
how
thing.
I got this burn, baby. Got a little scorch.
Cody, you are a true woodsman. Yeah, no, Kelly and I, we try, but and she takes care of the fire in the morning. She gets up before me, but even then, it's hard to keep the coals going with our stove.
Yeah.
So, what is the spooky thing that happened?
So I got up. I got my little extra wood pile next to the wood burner, and it's dark, completely dark in my living room, but I know where I'm going.
Yeah.
And then once you actually open the door, there's like a glow coming out, and
Sure.
so you can kind of see. Okay. So I put a few pieces of wood in, and I close the door, and I've got the little vent open, so there's a little bit of light I can see there. And I look down, and next to the wood burner, in the darkness, there is a light. But it's not like a firelight. There's a green light. And I'm like, what the hell is that? And at first I thought, like, maybe there is some kind of light coming. Like, is there a flame?
My immediate thought would be like the reflected light off of some kind of a device that has a little green glow switch saying, I'm off. Here's my glow switch or whatever.
So, yeah, I still kind of thought, like, well, maybe it's some of the light coming through the damper vent in the front, right? And so I reach down and put my hand between the wood burner and this light, and the light is blocked. So it's not coming out of the wood burner. So then I reach down and I touch what it is, and I realize it's a piece of wood. I was seeing bioluminescent, like, spores.
I have never heard of such a thing on wood.
Yeah, it usually happens on oak, but this is a piece of madrone.
Wow.
And in the light, you can't see anything on here, which is really weird. There's like no indication. We even looked at it with Allison's black light, and you can kind of see maybe a little discoloration, but it wasn't like a fungus that you could visibly see. But in complete darkness, I had to go get Allison out of bed.
Of course,
like,
that's worth waking somebody up for. That's crazy.
And it had this dull green blue glow. And I've Tim King, friend of the show.
Yes.
He actually was growing these spores once in a jar on pieces of wood. He was you can get like the spores in the mail, and we were gonna do some kind of cool wood sculpture and then like cultivate these things on it so the sculpture would glow.
Oh.
So yeah. I saw that. So I didn't burn the piece of wood, and it happened for a couple more nights. You can't get it on camera because it's so dark.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and I mean, if there's spores, do they dry up?
That's what I think happened, and then it ended up drying up too much.
Lame.
But it looks like where they were at on this wood is it was a piece of wood that had a natural split already. So, you know, when you like split around a wood, sometimes there's already cracks in there.
Yeah, that's often happens. Yeah.
And so I think it was
especially with madrone.
Yeah, some water had gotten in there, and
I wonder if any, because you have a lot more madrone on your property. You should look at some more and see if you can find any more.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I'd love to see it. If you ever find any more, give me a call and I'll rush over to your house. We only live down the road from each other. I'd get in my car in the middle of the night for that.
I know that we have around here also the jack-o'-lantern mushroom, which should be. Oh no, it's in the fall, which is kind of coincidental. It's like, the jack-o'-lantern, but it's a big orange shelf fungus, like those ones that look like shelves that come off of trees.
Oh yeah. Those are most of the mushrooms that grow around here are that kind.
So it's one of those, but it's bright orange, and at night the underside lights up in a bioluminescent thing. And
is it also green?
Yeah.
Oh.
And here's the thing that doesn't make sense though: is why do they do it? Because in nature, most things that are bioluminescent are either trying to attract prey or a mate.
What are
it's
the mushrooms? Fungus. The mushrooms are doing something.
What? Yeah, unless it's attracting. I guess it could be attracting some kind of nocturnal bug that would then get its spores on it.
It could be. Yeah, it could be a way of spreading itself by getting the spores on. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe moths. Would moths be attracted by something that dim?
I don't know. And maybe it's just something that like actually serves no purpose. It's just an accident that happened.
It could be. It's funny to imagine. It's funny to imagine something accidentally evolving bioluminescence, but I guess it could happen
for no reason.
Now I am leaving Earth for no reason.
That's a great one. I wonder why bioluminescent things are always either bluish or green. You never really see.
It's the chemical
orange bioluminescence or yellow or green, or no, you do see green or red. Yeah.
Anyways, that was my spooky check.
It's a good one. I don't have any.
If I was, it was like a few hundred years ago when I was a superstitious person, I might have thought that piece of wood was cursed.
You
or
probably
possessed.
wouldn't have burned it.
Maybe it was destroy it. Burn it down.
Yeah, maybe you would have burned it real quick.
Yeah.
Depending on where you're coming from. So, for the anniversary episode, I believe we have some questions from people.
It's more of a like we said, going into origins of some of the things that are behind the scenes in the show.
Okay, cool.
And so I think I've got a few listed here. And
Okay.
we'll do is I'll say what it is, and then we'll both talk about our recollection. I really want to see what you remember specifically about these things.
Well, considering the fact that I tend to remember less, maybe I should be going first on all of these.
yeah, well, that's what it is. I'm going to tell you
Okay.
what it is, and then you're going to give me a thing, and then I'll see how that...
I feel like it's weird doing this show because I feel like I'm flying a little blind. I mean, normally I am flying blind because you bring this whole thing, and half the time I don't quite know even what the topic is. But I always have a Garth's Corner, so I have this little safety net where it's like, well, I know I'm gonna be saying something, but I have no idea where I'm gonna go with this. So I guess just lay it on me, and I'll tell you what I think.
I'm also flying blind because I didn't prepare any notes for this. I just have the items listed out.
Okay.
And,
All right. Well, let's discuss.
Okay.
Okay.
See how much of a Rashomon we get here.
What's a Rashomon? That's my first question.
Oh, you don't know Rashomon?
You mentioned it many times, but you're always on such a roll with some other topic that I never wanted to cut you off. So, Cody, my first question for you.
Yeah.
What is a Rashomon?
Rashomon is so it's a movie by Akira Kurosawa.
Oh, I like Kurosawa.
And it takes place in, I want to say, maybe it's Kyoto during like the samurai period. It's like the Edo period, and there's this big gate that's the Rashomon Gate, which is like the old entrance to the city. It's like ruins, and a group of people meet at this gate. And the movie is, and it's also been adapted into plays. The story is, you have like several people who come together, and each one is telling their account of an event that just happened.
Oh, that's fun.
And
yeah.
it's a specific event that involves a samurai and his wife being attacked. He's killed and she's raped.
And they all witnessed this?
In some form or the other, everybody either witnessed this or they witnessed the trial. And so they're all giving their account. A fun thing is, one of the accounts that's related is the testimony of the ghost of the man who was killed. Because they have like somebody who channels it in like a seance and then gives the testimony.
Great.
And the point is that each version is drastically different. And so the movie never tells you which is the truth. And so after that, the term Rashomon entered into vernacular as a way of saying, like, when multiple people have different versions of the same events, the memories don't line up.
Cool.
It's a Rashomon situation.
Yeah, this is the problem with eyewitness testimony. And, of course, you started to describe this, and my immediate thought was an early episode of The Next Generation. There was an episode
which is probably based on this.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. That sounds like that's a great plot.
The film was made in the 50s, 1950s.
Oh, well, then I'm sure it was.
And Akira Kurosawa, man, he's a fucking...
Yeah.
Yeah, he's right. He's like he's the Japanese Ingmar Bergman.
So this
Not
is...
Ingmar Bergman. Yes, Ingmar. I almost confused him with Ingrid Bergman. Two different people.
Yes.
So
no, you got it right.
I got it right.
So this is going to be a Rashomon of 2. And we'll see how close we are.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so the first one,
okay,
we're going to, I guess, start kind of at the beginning. The backwards carousel of time. What's that about?
All right, so I don't remember which of us thought of it, but I know that early on in the podcast, I was a big proponent of trying to work in fun little gimmicks. Mm-hmm. Although you were as well.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure which of us came up with that one. I feel like, to the degree that I helped create it, I think I was probably ripping off Stuff You Should Know, because they do the Wayback Machine, which was indeed ripping off, I don't know, one of those, what are those old cartoons? What
Looney
was
Tunes? Or...
No.
Oh, Peabody and Sherman?
That's the one. I think they have the Wayback Machine, but I don't know because I've never seen that. In Stuff You Should Know, they just say where they're going to get in one, and they have a little theme music, and then they're there. They don't really go on about it as much. Cody and I make like whole scenes out of it.
Yeah.
But I feel like that was kind of in the back of my head. We got a lot more elaborate with it. I don't know. Do you remember where this came from? Okay.
It came from episode 3.
We started it that early?
Wow. Let me just make sure I'm remembering.
I'm impressed.
Wait.
I figured that was like episode 15 or something.
Or it's episode 4. The Clowning, episode 4.
That would be episode 4, because
Yeah.
I think episode 3 was the Black Death, episode 2, you talked to your brother.
Yeah,
That was the one
yeah.
time I wasn't on the show, which makes me almost always
Yes.
Garth.
So we want to know the origin of that.
That was it. So answered.
Yeah, it's because we were talking about clowns and they were tied to circuses, and I was trying to think of some kind of narrative device that I could use as a joke to say, like, hey, we're going to travel back in time. And so I was like, carousels. And
okay.
also a little bit, maybe subconsciously, a bit of Something Wicked This Way Comes, the carousel that de-ages people.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and so it's the backwards carousel of time.
I like it too because it immediately lends itself to some fun Foley work with carousel music.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for the first dozen or 2 dozen times we used it, I just played... What was it?
Oh, I know. Oh, so I think,
Should I say? I played some copyrighted music backwards, basically.
and the first time, I think I scoured the internet to find just a clip of an old. I was trying to find stuff that would be in public domain. So like, oh, it's a really old carousel, and I think I found like an old German carousels music.
Nice.
And played it backwards. I think that was what
That's
the original
good.
one was. And then then it was a piece of copyright.
And I
segment.
I stole an innocuous segment of a piece of copyrighted material, which I won't name.
Actually, you know what? I think
'Cause I don't wanna be
source,
demonetized.
I think given the source of where it came from, they actually are anarchists. And
Is that
so
fair use? That it was Monty Python?
Yeah,
It was.
We use story time is also Monty Python.
That's true. We rip off Monty Python a lot. So, yeah. So I took the carousel music from the Universe song from the Meaning of Life.
Yep.
And I just played some of it backwards. I think I might have even looped it so it wasn't too much of it.
And then later,
I think I even layered on some other stuff to make it
Yeah.
a little bit harder to hear.
and so it started off as just this way of like say like, oh, here's just imagine this is happening, and then at some point, canonically, it was like, no, we're actually getting on this thing.
Yeah, we didn't do that right away. It all goes by degrees. I think the thing is, Cody and I will, and probably this will be a theme of this whole anniversary show, is like, we'll start off with a simple idea, but it's fun to run with something.
Yes,
and yeah, we yes anded. And then Cody and I are both kind of natural storytellers, so we'll just like keep elaborating on it and coming up with more and more. Well, we can't just do the carousel time again. We have to add some other thing.
Yeah.
I don't even remember where we've left it. It's had so many iterations.
And then it was like, developing what are the rules? How is it really working? What's happening?
Right, and that was mostly you, I think.
Yeah.
Because you started going like, well, is time, like, can we accidentally change something, or is it that we're just ghosts like Scrooge in
and part
A Christmas
of that is
Carol?
because I think people might, if you listen to Ask Cody Cricket in a recent episode, which was a question you asked.
I asked a question because I need to have a good answer,
Yeah.
which is, how do you feel about your rules for time travel?
and I don't, and I've always said that I don't believe that you can go backwards, only forwards.
Yeah.
Unless it is a gateway that only lets you go as far back as when the device itself was created.
Now, do you just believe that out of convenience, and that what explains why there aren't people from the future here now because they haven't invented time machine yet?
Yeah,
Or time
I think
travel
that it's
yet?
like, I think you can only, it's a one way trip.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with that, probably. It feels like too many things would just not work if people could go back in time.
And time travel also
Because paradoxes.
It's
and all
also
that.
probably just a matter of perspective, right? It's like the light speed problem, where you have somebody travels at the speed of light
Oh, yeah.
and away,
Yeah.
and then if they were to come back, less time would have passed for them.
And that is measurably, demonstrably true.
Yes, it's the relativity
this
of
has
time.
this has been proven true.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in a sense, from a perspective, one of them time traveled.
Yeah. No, and
I think that's the only way it works.
I'm not ruling out
Yeah.
time warping. I'm just saying reversing it.
Yeah.
So,
You
but
can't
yeah,
go back.
I think you can definitely
you
go
go
into
forward
you
that
can
way.
go into the future.
Yeah.
You just can't go back or send information back.
I mean, we're always going in. Everybody's traveling through time.
1
all
minute
the
per
time.
minute.
Second by second.
But yeah, when we were doing the backwards carousel of time, the question comes up like, well, how do we want to like fuck with the past and make that part of the narrative? I'm glad we didn't really go that way, because this is, at heart, as goofy as it is, a show about talking about what really happened. In fact, it's trying to talk more about what really happened than other people are willing to talk about what really happened, because we're trying to sort of brush away the cobwebs of misinformation of the past. Yeah. So it would be counter to the theme of the show to like start fucking with the past.
And that
too
is the
much.
thing that's funny, is we're gonna keep going on this journey through our own canon and lore, that we are a skeptical podcast that has a bunch of shit canonically in show that is fuck wild.
We'll have to try to reconcile that.
Yeah.
Do you think we should get on the backwards carousel of time to go to like the beginning of the show? Would that be useful?
And then play an audio clip of the first episode.
I'm not saying we make a clip show. That's going to be later on down the line. We will do a clip show.
That's for
In fact,
100.
we were thinking. All right, so we're thinking for episode 100 we might do a clip show, but we're going to need a lot of help because it's going to be to do any good clip show. Mm-hmm. You don't want big sections of old material. You want mashups of every time someone said something.
Yeah.
And that's going to take a lot of work.
Oh, because we don't catalog this.
No, none of it's been cataloged. I've been wanting to get all of the just music of The Least Haunted and make that its own thing, but it's too too much for me to do.
And all these audio files are on several different hard drives. There is a catalog, though, of Garth's monikers.
Is there?
New Jared, I believe.
Oh, I think I heard he was keeping track of
he's
that.
Keeping track
well, we're counting on you because we sure aren't New Jared. Thank you.
And real quick before we leave the backwards carousel of time, we finally figured out how it works. Is that it generates... Okay, so...
Doesn't it generate a bubble universe that doesn't create paradoxes?
It generates a pocket universe.
Yeah, pocket universe. That's the word.
The universe is a holographic projection. It basically creates a mini holodeck.
So it can't hurt us.
Unless it malfunctions.
Oh, okay, so...
we found that out the hard way,
right.
Remember?
See, I don't even remember all the times we've been on the backwards carousel all the time to remember what's canon or what
Well,
we've
that
established.
actually leads into the next one. Somebody wants to know the origin, and this is tied to the backwards carousel of time.
Okay.
Consent fetishist Elmo.
That was me. Mm-hmm. I made up consent fetishist Elmo. Well, okay. You had the idea, because we were writing it together. This is, I think it was like our second Christmas special, maybe our third. I think it was our second. I think it was our second. Mm-hmm. And you wanted to have a tickle me Elmo, but it was like a tickle you Elmo, or it was some play on tickle me Elmo, which I think has been done. I think South Park did that, and I think maybe The Simpsons might have.
Oh yeah.
So we did some tweaks with it to make it original.
It was the tickle you Elmo, the doll that has no concept of personal space.
Right. So it was okay. So we had this annoying Elmo character. I can do a pretty good Elmo impersonation. I actually do the voice of tickle me Elmo of consent fetishist Elmo. But the idea was because I think Cody wrote the first half and I wrote the second. We were kind of going back and forth with the writing, but like. I always like taking a bad character, to try to see if you could like rectify. Because not to say it was a bad idea. That's not what I mean, Cody. But I mean like a evil character. This is a negative character, and I wanted to give him a redemption arc. So I wanted him to end being the opposite of a molester, and now he actually fetishizes consent. So he's still kinky. But he's kinky about people wanting him to do these. So, and I like the consent fetishism is a hilarious term.
So the reason why it was Elmo at all was because the narrative of the story for that episode was that I kind of revealed that I guess I had used plans I found on the internet to build the backwards carousel of time. And I did so using, I think the parts were for like the time, whatever the computing power was, Tiger Electronics X-Men game from the 90s.
Yeah, you're using like old...
Parts of a Furby. It was like a circuit board from a Furby, and I think it was part of a Tickle You Elmo.
No, it was called Tickle Me Elmo.
Oh, no, that's what came later.
Oh, okay. No, Tickle Me Elmo was the actual thing.
Sorry, Tickle Me Elmo. And then when we got stuck in the simulation...
Right.
It was...
the future.
Yeah, it was the future. Yeah. It was an alternate future where the war on Christmas had spread out and Christmas won, and so everything is Christmas.
Right.
And so we had to find a replacement circuit board to fix the backwards carousel of time to get us home. And I couldn't get a tick... And at that point, I started to think about, okay, well, I need a Tickle Me Elmo, but that's not funny enough. And then also... when the first Tickle Me Elmo came out, and this really is the truth. Like when it came out,
I remember it was a big deal.
It was a big deal, and like that Christmas,
parents were like punching each other.
There were
in the aisles.
Yeah, people were getting
attacking each other, trying to get Tickle Me Elmos.
Yeah, and beat, and so it was the must-have toy. And so like, well, logically, okay, then it has to be the toy that we need, the must-have toy of the season for this Christmas world. And I think that's why we had to go heist it. Remember, it was like
I don't remember the plot at all. I should re-listen to that. That was a fun episode.
Yeah, and then.
Yeah, we did a heist, and then Tickle You Elmo came back with us.
Yeah.
And
then
then
we locked him in a room.
I think we locked him in a room and reprogrammed him, or else he went insane. But he came out better.
Yeah, we locked him in there with the backwards carousel of time, which he then repaired.
Right. And then he became a
consent fetishist.
Yeah, and then he went off to help with a wolf tracking, I believe.
Coyote tracking.
Coyote tracking.
What am I saying?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Barbarian. I misspoke. What am I saying? Coyote tracking.
Yes, consent fetishist Elmo is was for a while canonically the research assistant for the Barbarian, but currently is, or last known whereabouts was on a road trip through the American Southwest with Garth 2.
Oh yeah, Garth 2.
Oh, so the question about consent fetishist Elmo, that came from Ken on Discord, which leads us into Garth 2, which is actually another question.
This is a good little review because I forgot about how all this works. Although I should post this on the Discord and on Tumblr, but I did do some designs for Garth 2.
Yeah.
Because I have some plans, and they involve kind of a complex puppet. And
if we ever do live shows,
Garth 2 will make an appearance. And I got it all worked out how it's gonna work. I just have to make them.
So this actually comes from Mule Man Jared Classic.
Does it? I don't remember.
He asked the question. Can you explain?
Oh, thanks, Jared Classic.
Malakota, aka Garth 2.
Right. Was that the part that I wrote or not? Because I remember with this episode. So this was another episode that we did.
Let's explain how we write these specials, because that will help.
We do it differently every time.
well, usually though we use this software, online application.
Oh yeah, Writer Duet. It's really good.
Yeah, it's Writer Duet, and we can both be working in real time on the exact same script.
It's kind of like Google Docs, but it's cool because it formats what you're typing as a script, and it'll like memorize when you've had characters who've spoken lines. So if you like type the character's name again, it'll automatically make it formatted so that they're ready for more dialogue. So it streamlines the process immensely and gives you a actual script looking thing at the end, which is really kind of cool. So we use that all the time.
Yeah, so it usually starts with one of us kind of has a vague idea of what the special is going to be about.
Yeah.
And then one of us will just take the initiative and start, and then it's a very exquisite corpse where it's like, then the next one comes in,
it's always very well, we got to do an episode for the holidays. Okay, what is it gonna be? Well, I was thinking this and this, and then we'll drag our feet, and then like a couple weeks later one of us will just be like, all right, I wrote the first half, and it's like, oh, okay, shit, all right, and then we'll start just like, all right, pass the hot potato. I wrote a third of it, you write the next third, and then we'll rewrite the first third. So we write sections and then edit each other's.
Yeah, so this was in Hell Doodle,
directed by Spock. Yes. That was you. You did that voice.
Oh, yeah.
Hell Doodle.
My Fred Schneider
that
from
was great.
The
Yeah.
Hey, Doodle! Doodle!
Yeah, you nailed it. That was really good.
That episode was about us accidentally opening a portal to hell, or being seemingly tricked. We never got to who sent us. We never answered who sent us the...
we never did. That's actually a good little thing we could grab onto. You never want every question answered.
You gotta have something for later. So we open a portal to hell, and so as we're writing this, Garth, you were handling the part with demons, and you actually looked at, I think, Dante's Inferno and found real names of demons.
Yeah, I actually went through. There's a section where a bunch of demons are talking to each other, and the names, they're just like Italian names, but there was one version of the translation I found where they were all translated into some approximation from Middle Italian into like English, and they were hilarious. It was like blather snout and snot nose, you and
pig face with useful tusks.
Yeah, pig face with useful tusks is one of the names of the. Anyway, so we grabbed all of those and just I think even some of the lines in that are just straight out of Dante's Inferno.
Yeah.
We just ripped off Dante.
And so we wrote the part where it introduces Malakota, who would become Garth 2, right? And I think
I don't remember why he's Garth 2.
It's because so we were writing it, and you had left off. I think introducing him as Malakota, and then I was like thinking, so then I opened the document and I see what you've added. I'm like, I want there to be a joke, and so I just wrote because then I was like, oh, Coda sounds kind of like my Cody, so I had the line like, that sounds like an evil version of my name, and that's gonna be too confusing. So I'm just gonna call you, and then I left it like that because I was trying to think of what kind of funny name, like Bitey or something like that,
Sure.
And I think you just put in Garth. I think you put Garth too.
That might have been me, because obviously, if Malacoda is confusing with Cody, let's just have a character that's named Garth too.
Exactly.
Obviously, that's a pretty good joke. That was I forgot it. I completely forgot why the demon was named Garth 2. But so Garth 2 and Elmo are on a road trip.
Yeah,
right now.
Yeah, we said that they were, and that was in...
They'll be back when we need them.
That was a bit of casual dialogue in the most recent holiday special, the Christmas special.
Oh, yeah.
Because we did the fake out where we are not really the main characters of that story.
Right, that was
else.
another fun one. We did the film noir thing, and then we had to have a reason the other characters weren't with us at the Least Haunted headquarters, so we put they're on a road trip together.
Yeah, which is nice because when they first met, Garth 2 mauled and tore out the eye.
Yeah, so in any version we see of Consent Fetishist Elmo in the future, he's either going to have a missing eye, an eye patch, or a bionic eye. And I thought an eye patch would look really cool, and then think about the way Elmo looks. Well, especially Elmo, he's got eyes on the very top of his head. How would an eye patch work?
So you said it was going to be a Dixie cup?
I think we're going to do a Dixie cup. I don't know if it'll read well, though. So we're going to have to go with, I don't know. We'll find out in the future. We haven't gotten that far yet. We don't know what he's going to look like after his trip through. Maybe it'll be like jade or something. If he goes through the American Southwest, it'll be like
turquoise.
Turquoise, not jade. Yeah, it'll be turquoise. Turquoise eye.
Then also on the topic of the Christmas cryptid caper, that was the first time we've had.
We had a true ensemble cast.
Yes,
and we have had friends and family do little voices here and there. Actually, we did do an ensemble cast for the very first episode, which was the one you wrote.
Oh yeah, the Tale of the Ghostly Town.
Yeah, that was the first holiday special we ever did.
I just wanted a very non-creative name because I thought that was a funny joke that the name itself was.
Yeah, the Tale of the Ghostly Town is the most all right, well,
like the Hardy Boys. And the Tale of the Ghostly Town.
Yeah, exactly. The mystery of the sea treasure. Okay.
So we have a universe where, canonically, we have traveled through time for real.
Yes.
With the help of a ghost, maybe? Or
Right.
Yeah, and then we were attacked by a bunch of ghosts.
Yeah, that happened.
In the end of that, we left it ambiguous as if to whether or not we'd even returned to our correct time, but it seems we did.
We never did close that one out. That was the early days where we weren't thinking about consistency between holiday specials.
Yeah, I think that was that whole... I don't know if I ever told about how that whole story entered the entire, not script, but the entire treatment for that episode all entered my head within 10 minutes.
Yeah, you wrote that whole thing. I remember you saying it came to you quickly, but I never heard the details.
I was having a migraine, and so I took some alternative medication for my...
Nice.
I won't say what it was.
But it worked. In fact, it was very useful for this. That's cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it weren't notes.
It weren't notes. Well, you know what? Whatever works, and I'm glad to hear that.
And then, the headache went away, and then suddenly I had this entire crazy story. I was like, and then this happens, and then this happens, and this happens. Okay.
But the fact that you wrote it all down and then were fine the next day and reread it and found that it was good stuff, that's nice.
I think I texted you the treatment in the moment.
And I was probably like, nice, that looks great. Well, go for it, dude.
Yeah, and that was, so we had an ensemble cast for that, but then
the most recent one we did, this film noir, we had several friends who fans of the show become friends of ours through the Discord and through the internet and stuff, and they contributed their voices, and we actually did some live recordings with them. Mm-hmm. We all did a Zoom call where we all recorded our voices separately, and they contributed their voices. It was great.
Yeah, that was the By Barbarian and Lord Havelock, who they are also the moderators on our Discord.
That's right.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys.
And they're both in the great Monster Squadron, so thank you again.
Double, thank you.
We also had in that one Travis.
Travis was the bartender.
And he had been in as just a one-line voice in, I think, the second anniversary. He was one of the guards.
Yeah, he was.
He was one of the Christmas guards.
Because I remember adding him in. Yeah. I forgot about that.
And,
that's right.
And so, but since then, in between his first appearance and his other like guest spots on our show as our on the Legally Haunted episodes.
As our official attorney.
Yeah.
Which I always like to tell him, oh no, you're our official attorney.
And he's like, please don't.
No, I'm not. Do not take my legal advice.
But since then, he's become a business partner with us, starting Sequoidea Productions LLC, and he hosts 2 other shows on our podcast network.
Yeah, he's got You, Me, and Squee, and he and his wife, and it's all about raising a child. Mm-hmm. And then he's got Hoppy Trails.
Hoppy Trails, yeah.
And that's all about beer and hops and good times and food and reviewing different places and talking about the process of making those things.
Which is why he owned the bar. It was the bartender in the Christmas
I never would have considered that.
I didn't even intend that.
Sense.
It just popped in my head now, like, you know what? Yeah, retroactively, yes, that's all.
Yeah, no, we did that on purpose. That was totally in character.
Intentional, yeah.
But yeah, that was a great one. I'm hoping that in the future, as we do these, especially if we can write them far enough ahead of time, we'll be able to get fans and friends in to do voices. Because, boy, it's so nice just for your ears to hear truly different voices, and not just me and Cody trying to do different voices. Which, boy, it's hit and miss.
Yeah, but hey, I don't know.
I think we do pretty well.
To toot my own horn, I think I've gotten good at a few different
your
voices.
Orson Welles is great. I'm just saying, I think I pulled off the main, because I did the Greg the Mongoose.
Oh, yeah.
But I feel like I'm never going to need to do that voice again. That was a lot.
He was a combination of Carl Sagan and Hunter Thompson?
It was Carl Sagan, Hunter Thompson, Tom Waits.
Oh, yeah.
And I was trying to do, I think it worked, but yeah, that was a lot.
But no, we have a whole bunch of canonical characters now.
We do, yeah.
So many characters.
We could list them off, but we'd probably miss a bunch.
Well, there's Old Sal, the ghost lady.
Which one was that?
That's in the Tale of the Ghostly Town.
Fuck, I forgot about that.
And that was
one.
Allison, my wife.
That's right.
Yeah.
I forgot that was what she did. Yes.
And then, I don't know if we count the characters from that first Christmas one, which was the Christmas Carol parody.
That was a good one.
But none of those were really... Well, the reporters, the skeptics, the 3 skeptics.
The 3 skeptics, including the slide whistle skeptic.
Which we just said was Harpo Marx.
Yeah.
And then we have Ulysses Noman.
Yeah, that's our friend Nate. Ulysses Noman, good old friend of ours, mutual friend of
That's how we met.
Yeah, Cody and I, this is probably another question. How did Garth and Cody meet? Was
that was a question. Yeah,
okay.
That was a question from our friend Tim. He wants to know how we met.
It wasn't that Nate introduced us, but Cody and I discovered that we had many friends in common.
So many. I think we've talked about this before.
I think we did on the last one, so we'll go over it more briefly this time. For a more in-depth one, I think our last anniversary episode, we got way into it, but yeah, I think my conclusion in that one was that this podcast was absolute inevitability in all scenarios, because considering you and I, our dispositions and interests and mutual friends, there's no way we wouldn't have eventually pretty much done this show.
It was it's one of those fixed points in the multiverse timeline.
Yeah, I truly think so. It all would have lined up different ways. It could have been a few years earlier or a few years later or something, but it would have happened.
Yeah, it's crazy, because you graduated a year after I did, so we were in high school at the same time. We had all the same, like a whole bunch of the same friends.
Yep.
We both grew up roughly in the same area, like within miles from each other.
Oh, yeah.
The only difference is that it started because we went to different elementary and middle schools.
Yeah. Yep.
So
that was pretty much it. Otherwise, we would have been friends as kids, probably.
Yeah, because our parents knew each other.
Yeah, no, our parents knew each other. Your parents, your family's been here for generations, and my parents only been here. My grandpa moved here, but you're like a 5th generation.
Yeah, I'm 5. Yeah.
So. Yeah, the families know each other, and on and on and on. Yeah, it
wasn't until I was in a band, which had a supernatural name. The band.
That's true.
Yeah, it's funny, as a skeptic, I've always been involved with things that are ghosts.
Well, it's like a fascination from the outside.
Yeah.
All these people who like do religious studies and are atheists.
But yeah, I was in the Ghost of Rights. That's singular ghost.
That's when I first met you.
Yeah, met.
Because, Nate was lead singer, and
40 played bass.
I was going to say, off and on, several other friends of mine played different instruments. Cheyenne played guitar, I believe. Did he? Or no, I'm thinking of I'm thinking of Hogfather.
Hogfather.
Because 40 also played bass
Yeah.
in that. We had a lot, you know, in the early 20s when your musical friends all play in different combinations. I
Yeah.
forgot who was even in it. I thought Shine was in
No,
that
yeah,
one.
the original lineup for Ghost of Rights was me and Nate.
Yeah.
We started as a folk duo, and then it grew into a 5-piece.
Brian was
rock-
saxophone off and on.
Brian was saxophone and guitar,
Yes.
or second guitar, and vocals, and a songwriter. And I
Yep.
was writing songs, playing the Appalachian dulcimer, sometimes harmonica in this lineup. Nate was lead guitar,
Right,
and another
and
songwriter,
singer.
and vocals. And then 40 was on bass, and then
Yep.
we had this guy Josh on the drums.
Well, and as I recall, when 40 did the bass, he had a way of basically also being rhythm guitar.
Oh,
the way
yeah,
he
no,
would do it,
he would-
he
yeah.
had worked out a different way of setting it up where that's all you needed. Yeah, you guys had a good sound.
And then we went through several lineup changes, and this is all going to be something that we go into further. We can do our first teaser of future Sequoidea.
Yeah,
projects.
we've been throwing around a few different ideas for future podcasts we could help with or make in different combinations, and one is about the origin stories of bands that never quite happened. What did we finally figure that would be called?
It's called my best friend's band.
That's right.
Or my friend's band.
My Friend's Band.
My friend's band.
Yeah.
And it is that old show that was Behind the Music. It was like VH1's Behind the Music. They would
Yes, I remember that.
yeah, tell you like the whole like sordid tale of like these big rock stars and bands.
Yeah.
It's like that, but instead it's about tiny little bands that were like, a garage band that your friends had in college.
They self-published an album.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
played for 6 months, and
Yeah.
then everyone kept going with their lives, and it never. But there is still this one album of like pretty fucking good stuff.
And there was stuff
like,
that they played that never got recorded that was great.
Sure,
There's
sure.
How do you feel about the band Wilco?
I like Will Cole, right?
They had a song that at one point talked about the greatest singers, and it's the greatest songs.
I don't know Will Cole.
I'm
very well.
paraphrasing, but the idea is that the best songs ever written you've never heard because they don't
Yeah?
play them on the radio. They don't exist in these other places.
I feel that's very true.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that is an idea, and that would be a potential band you could do.
Yeah, I could do
Because
the
Ghost of
entire-
Rights, I mean,
We were around for 3 years.
and you guys produced a solid album. I think I did your logo.
You did a couple of our logos.
Or I did a couple of your logos. I have a sticker of it somewhere.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
You did. You did one.
I did a very, very complicated looking logo.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's how we met.
But yeah, that's basically so. All right, so that's how we met, and then Cody and I got to know each other. We hung out a few times, and we were both fans of each other's work more than actually spending a lot of time together. I remember you invited me to your wedding, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, I gotta go to Cody's wedding." And I think we bonded over our mutual love of They Might Be Giants and a few other things.
Well, that was the picture that you gave as a wedding present.
Yes, I did an Alex Gray style version of two Inside Out people painting each other's birdhouses and their souls in some way.
That's
We
great.
can post it.
It's
It's pretty far
rad.
out. I was pretty proud of it. But after that, I moved up to Oregon for a few years and, lost. I didn't really lose touch with a couple friends, but I hadn't spoken to Cody in a while.
And I was always usually off Facebook.
Yeah, you weren't really,
cycles.
you were not really social media-y, but I remember reaching out to you one time when I was in Oregon saying, dude, do you have the chords to this one Ghost of Rights song, Bolivia, that I love? And Cody's like, oh yeah, let me get that for you. And he sent it to me, and I did do a version of Bolivia, which will never see the light of day, although I did post it on the Discord.
It is on the Discord.
But I will take it down. No, I won't. Anyway, it's something. It's not good, but
It's something.
I really love that song, and I think that I remember reaching out to you then, and then when we moved back to California, Cody showed up within a week or two of me coming back with a truckload of firewood, and he's like, "Hey man, how's it going?" and we immediately started going to trivia night together, and because he and his wife Allison do trivia night, and then it all.
Well, your house was on the way.
Yeah,
So
it was so convenient. They would pick me up, and it's just like shit. Anyway, I think within a year we started talking about doing a podcast.
Well, initially it was just going to be. I said I wanted to do this podcast, and I was asking you to help do the logo for it.
Right, and I always wanted to do a podcast, and I remember we were talking about, well, maybe we could do one together, and I was very hesitant. I don't want to have a thing I need to do all the time. I could help out and occasionally join in. But I don't want to be like in every episode.
Yeah.
I don't want that commitment. I can't take that. I can't commit to that. So, I might come on this Least Haunted podcast of yours sometimes, sure. But
yeah, I was gonna need to have like a rotating.
that was the original idea.
Yeah, every time it would be somebody different joining me.
Yeah, and it would sometimes be me.
Yeah.
Almost never, but sometimes. And then we just fell into a rhythm of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here we are 3 years later.
Yeah, I've only missed one episode.
Yeah.
Someday you'll miss an episode, and then we'll be even, and then you'll be almost always Cody.
There was okay. So we just did our April Fool's episode just came out.
Yep.
And I'm gonna throw out a couple episodes that were almost episodes that never happened. The
Ooh.
lost episodes.
Okay, this is great. I might not know most of these. Okay.
Okay, so and I'll try not to name drop too many people because everybody has their reasons and stuff.
Sure.
And I think in the last episode I mentioned
there was a big name that ghosted us.
Yeah, that we got ghosted by a big name, and we were going to talk about fearsome creatures of the lumber woods. Mm-hmm. And so this is different though. This one was there was another podcast that had a very similar name to ours, but was like the antithesis of us.
Oh, okay.
So Believers, but they had a name that was very similar to Least Haunted, but like the opposite. But it wasn't Most Haunted.
Okay.
That's what I'll say.
Okay, fair enough.
And we were like going back and forth through Twitter.
Yeah.
And it was like, hey, let's do this thing where on April Fools,
we're
going to trade podcasts.
I remember that. That was a really fun idea.
So it would have been anybody who tuned into their show on April 1st or whatever the closest release date would get us doing our show on like their channel, or
it wasn't going to be us doing their show. Because that would have been fun.
Well, it was us doing their show, so it was like us doing their show and trying to be like, I guess,
pretending that we were true believers,
Yeah.
and then they would be pretending to be skeptics.
Yeah.
Great concept. It's too bad that never happened.
Yeah.
But
And
we won't name them just in case it does happen in the future.
Yeah, it just got. I think it just got lost in the shuffle,
Sure.
and social media is changing and stuff, and
Yeah, I don't bear any ill will for missed projects, because the way this works is people have a lot of great ideas and a lot of intention, and just sometimes shit just doesn't happen.
Oh,
and
timing.
It's a matter of timing. So anytime it doesn't work, I'm just like, hey, maybe it will in the future. But I try not to get my hopes up until it happens.
When we got Justin McElroy,
that was fucking
name.
Still crazy. That he ever was a guest on this show.
Facilitated by Twitter. But that took 6 months to happen. Like from him agreeing to come on to the actual record.
He's a busy dude.
Oh yeah, 6 months, and there was multiple cancellations due to illness on his end, family members, and then I think one of them we lost power and we had to cancel. Yeah, so
but he stuck with it and didn't just drop us. That was really cool of him, and that was a great episode. He was wonderful.
And the other ones that didn't happen was there was one we were gonna another paranormal podcast, and we were gonna do a thing that was we were gonna have a middle ground. It was going to be like mutually agreed upon. Okay, let's just agree to talk about something that we both know was a hoax. Let's do that. And that we were going to talk about the Coddington fairies, which maybe we'll talk about at some point. And again, that was something that just timing just kept going weird. And I think one of the people on that other podcast, they moved across the country, and so things just happen.
They do. That being said, though, we've been on a lot of other podcasts and had a lot of guests on.
Yeah.
We should do more of that. For a while there, it felt like every other episode, which was almost too much, was other guests and this and that. Yeah. I feel like it's about time we should try to do a
we need to get some more guests.
Meet up with somebody.
Yeah.
I'd like to do something else with the Doom Generation.
We actually have an idea.
Okay, I would love to work with those two again. Oh my gosh,
oh yeah,
so funny.
Yeah, so Nicole,
They're great.
They are always hitting us up on Discord. Our Discord server and their Discord server are kind of like a shared universe at this point.
Yeah, there's been a lot of overlap, which is fantastic.
Yeah. And so
we'll do something else with them.
Yeah, we already have. I was talking to Nicole about it, and we've got some ideas on an 80s film that I grew up with that they hadn't seen. Another one of those.
We won't say on the air now yet, but when we dig for bones, you can tell me. Yeah, I'm curious. What are we at, by the way?
Oh, time-wise?
Yeah.
49 minutes.
Nice. I think it's time to dig for bones.
How about, you know what? Let's dig for bones, and we'll have some ads for some podcasts that we've been on before.
Sure. That sounds like that's a great idea. Let's do it.
Okay.
Well, hello. It's the Bi Barbarian reporting in from the field. Just wanted to say congratulations, Cody and Garth, on another anniversary. This podcast is wonderful and weird, and I know I love it as much as everybody else does. So, congrats. And thanks for creating such a fun community that we all get to play in all the time. So, here's to many more years.
Did you grow up with a lack of parental supervision?
Do you know all the lyrics to The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Remember Mayor McCheese and the Fry Guys?
Have an inexplicable love for the California Raisins?
Can you remember Madonna's original phase?
Then you might be a part of the Doom generation.
Laugh until you cry with us each week as we stumble blindly through the memories of the movies
And other random things.
that doomed us to be the salty, sarcastic, sardonic ladies you want to hang with.
You know us, you love us, you can't f***ing live without us.
Doom Generation, available everywhere you find podcasts.
Do you like beer?
Of course you do.
Do you like good food?
You better believe it.
Then we have the show for you.
It's the Hoppy Trails Podcast.
I'm Nick.
I'm Travis, and on each episode of Hoppy Trails, we invite you to come along on our journey to explore craft beverages and the foods that accompany them.
Check out Hoppy Trails on hoppytrailspod.com or listen wherever you find your podcasts. Connect with us on Instagram at hoppytrailspod or reach out to hoppytrailspod@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you.
Come travel the Hoppy Trails with us, and remember to always say yes to the hoppy ending.
Cheers.
Hi guys, this is old Billy from Discord. Just wanted to wish you a happy anniversary and many, many more. Enjoy the show.
I can't play the guitar and sing at the same time.
Welcome back. Those are some bones, weren't they? Holy shit.
And you may have heard a few little voice messages, too. We got some congratulations from some of our fans and friends.
Thanks, fans. We're happy to be here. I can't believe this has been 3 years. That's like... The 20s have been a blur of a weird decade, and this has been like an anchor mentally for me. Yeah, like you look at your life and like there's all these, I guess you can look at it as a story and there's like these little
chapters.
Yeah, there's chapters of your story in this metaphor. And
you know, we're not one to mix metaphors.
Yeah, I would never mix a metaphor, but on the road of life, this has been like the last, it's been a nice few miles. Thanks, man. Anyway, happy anniversary.
Yeah, happy anniversary.
So let's get back to the questions. What's the next one?
Okay, so this comes from our friends at the Doom Generation Pod.
Oh, yeah.
And they say...
Hello, Doomers.
Okay, so what's the closest you've been to believing in something supernatural? Like, have you had an experience that almost got you there?
Ooh, I'm going to have to think about that for a little while. Do you have a ready, set answer? Because I'm going to have to think about that for a minute.
I think I talked about in Spooky House, my brother and I, we talked about our experience in a Scottish castle. That was pretty...
That was unexplained and still gives you...
Yeah, but now even as I've thought about it later, I'm like, you know what? The groans I was hearing probably were water pipes. And yeah, there was a dent in the shape of a person in the mattress, but it's a mattress in a hotel, man. It might just be really worn out and, you know, sinks in the middle.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything in my history that's like that. I mean, when I was a kid, I definitely kind of like believed in aliens or wanted to believe. Mm-hmm. In fact, I need to do at some point. We'll do a little amendment to the alien autopsy because when friend of the show, Justin Duckham, my old childhood friend, heard it, he was like, dude, there was all this other stuff you totally didn't say about when we first saw that. And I was like, what? And he's like, oh yeah, no, that was like a pivotal time in our development, and all these other things happened. I was like, I don't remember any of that, man. So I'm gonna have to have him on, or at least talk to him and fill in the gaps, because this happened when we were like fourth grade or fifth grade. So this has been always happening, is my point, is I don't remember even back then.
That's part of show canon right there. And show
his
lore.
Garth doesn't remember shit.
And it's funny because I was listening back to our last episode, Hot-Headed, and we talked about the biloba tree. Was it the ginkgo?
The ginkgo biloba.
And you make this comment like, yeah, go out there. Yeah, it makes this memory extract. It's really good.
I should probably look into that tree that I have in my backyard to help me out.
Yeah. You drink the extract.
But no, Justin, my best friend of my life, basically told me, no, those were like formative things that made us the friends we are today.
And you had no memory.
And he started like mentioning things. I was like, oh, I believe you. Anyway.
Ouch.
Maybe. If it was anyone but me, I think he would have been pissed. Yeah. But, anyway, he can tell me the story all over again, and I'm sure I'll be delighted anyway. Yeah. We'll talk about that. I'll try to get him on, or I'll paraphrase if he's too busy to be on the show.
It's funny, when I was younger, because I was a true believer, right? So so I was in a position where I did believe, and then as I got older, I kind of lost that. But even now, recently, I've been in a few situations that I'm not.
That's good. Doesn't that feel good though?
Well, there was
don't you want nothing more than to be a little less certain?
There's situations where I wanted it to be like I wanted something to happen, just anything that would push me that close to the edge where it made me question.
Yeah.
And there may have been, but it's too early to say.
Okay, so do you want to tell the story? Okay, so Cody's shaking his head. It's conciliatory. Oh, I think I know what Cody's referring to, but that's off the record at the moment. So we'll see.
I probably should have said anything at all.
No, it's better to let everyone know that there are secrets yet to be revealed.
Secrets.
Anyway, I'm not sure if I agree with Cody on that one. We'll see.
Okay.
I don't remember. I don't remember what it is he's talking about. That's why I don't know if I agree. So let's move on to the next. Let's move. I'm the perfect person to give your secrets to.
You're either the perfect co-conspirator or the worst co-conspirator.
Because I'll forget that you told me not to say anything.
Yeah. It's like right. I know I'm not supposed to say something, but I can't remember what it was.
Anyway, Cody confided in me that. All right. Next question.
Okay. This question. This is from. Again, from our friend Tim King. And this one actually ties kind of back to Hell Doodle in a way. Because in this last season of Least Haunted, if the year's the season...
Season 3.
In Season 3, we had a few serial-related adventures. We
had more than one serial... I guess it was a serialized...
Well, we had Hell Doodle, which involved a breakfast cereal premium. And then we ate the monster cereals.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
So for all of you, I don't know, did we ever... I don't think we ever released that as audio. Did we?
No, because it's a visual medium.
Yeah, so for those of you who might have missed it, who just listened to the audio, Cody and I released it on our YouTube channel, and maybe we'll try to get it somewhere else if you don't do YouTube, but who doesn't have access to YouTube? Anyway, whatever. We filmed ourselves eating the monster cereals.
Yeah.
This is an idea of yours.
It was an idea. I never said it was a good idea, but it was an idea. It was because I was in Costco and I saw they were selling 4 of the monster cereals in a box for, it was like $6.
How many good ideas are born in a Costco shop versus bad ideas?
Right.
That's what I'm wondering.
5 gallons of mayo. Good idea.
People have more ideas in Costco than any other store. I'm just wondering what the ratio is.
Home Depot probably more ideas.
Oh well, yeah, maybe
more bad ideas probably in Home Depot.
That's true.
Honestly.
Yeah, those are the more fatal ideas. But the more just make you sick ideas, those are going to be buying things wholesale in large quantities.
Yeah, food stuff.
So we ate. We did not eat 4 full boxes of Monster, but we just
each ate 4 bowls of highly sugared cereal.
4 bowls of pure sugar.
And it was. It
tasted like anyway, I won't give it away. Go watch that.
Yeah,
what was the question?
Well, the question is, I was just setting the base that
we've done a lot of cereal episodes.
things. Yeah, okay. So, if the Least Haunted podcast had its own celebrity breakfast cereal, kind of like Mr. T's cereal.
Celebrity? Oh, like we're the celebrities.
Yeah, if it was like our own branded, if it was a tie-in cereal.
Oh, this is a good question.
What would it look and taste like? Would there be marshmallows? What would those be?
Okay.
Shapes?
Do you want to start first? Because I'll probably go in a vastly different direction.
Actually, I want to hear where you're taking this.
I don't like cereal, so...
As we discovered in that episode. I mean, I didn't even eat
I don't even eat cereal. I used to eat like a cornflakey thing with raisins in it that was at Trader Joe's that I really liked a lot. I think it had blueberries too, maybe. But that was even over 10 years ago. I haven't eaten cereal in forever. And I'm not a fan of... Because I would define cereal as some dry granular grain thing that you put into a bowl and then you pour in milk and then eat the sludge. Or you eat it before it becomes sludge, ideally.
Would oatmeal be... Oatmeal's a hot cereal.
I don't like oatmeal.
Neither do I. It's a texture thing. But my favorite cookie is oatmeal raisin.
You know what? When Kelly makes oatmeal, she'll put certain spices in there. She'll put in some cinnamon and then some honey and then maybe a little bit of like yogurt because it's cool and hot oatmeal. Yeah. If you dress it up right, I do like that, but it's more work than I'm willing to do.
Simple man.
And you have to eat it in 10 minutes or else the hot and the cold homogenize and it's just meh. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of oatmeal either. So if we were to do a cereal, I'd want to like flip the script and take component pieces of what are traditionally cereal and like have it be another kind of food. Like, but then it probably would. So a box of something, we'll call it cereal, but really once you open it up, it's like, I don't know. I like pistachios. Maybe we could sell pistachios in a cereal box.
I hate pistachios.
Oh, that wouldn't work. All right, this has to be something Cody and I would both eat.
Wait.
So what do you think we should do for a cereal?
Okay, hold on, though. I just don't think I want to accept your solution. You're like, no, I just take the things that you might find in a cereal and take those component ingredients.
Well, if the
in
scenario,
that case, you might as well have a sandwich.
Well,
man.
in this scenario, if I'm being forced to produce a cereal for the people, and I myself don't like cereal, what is one to do?
Yeah.
I have to be really creative. So I mean, I'm thinking off the cuff. I didn't even know this was going to be a question.
Like,
I don't know what else.
Well, in your case, you would want something that's probably ideally a trail mix.
Cheese. Oh, a trail mix.
A trail mix that you could, if you wanted, put milk on and eat as a breakfast cereal, or you could eat handfuls of it.
I do fucking like trail mix. Yeah. Okay, so I would make a cereal.
Granola. Yeah.
I would make a granola cereal. That took a long time. That was a long walk to get to. I would do a granola cereal. Yeah. And I'd probably put little ghosts, but I don't want to do marshmallows. What else could the ghosts be made of?
Yogurt covered raisins.
Yeah, yogurt covered raisins. But here's the thing: these cereal boxes cost $30 each because somebody hand paints little dots and little frowny non-committal faces on every single ghost. It's artisanally made cereal. No, that's why it costs so much.
You can't just say like, no, the ghosts are the raisins are evocative of ghosts.
No, you want to see them because then people can like, if you set up the cereal right, floating in the milk because you're probably gonna eat a cereal. You could have the ghosts, and then you could have the little scales, and you could actually recreate our logo.
So what are the scales made out of?
Well, you would need... I'm looking... All right, thankfully, I have a reference to our logo because I'm looking at the back of Cody's laptop right now, which has our logo covering up the Apple logo, as I do on mine. I have a different little sticker. You don't want to be a brand whore.
No.
So you got to put a sticker on your Apple.
Yeah.
Everyone do this. Anyway, so I'm looking at the scales, and you could have macaroni for the circular parts, but that's not really a very good trail mix.
Dry macaroni?
No one wants that. What's a good... I mean... What are those curvy nuts? Cashews. Yeah. So
I guess this is gonna be $30 a bowl.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. So cashews. This is artisanal, man.
That's a rich man's nut.
Yeah. So we got 2 cashews, and those will be the little arms, and then even the middle part is sort of curved, so that could be a 3rd cashew. So 3 cashews and 2 little yogurt covered almond. What did you say the ghosts were?
Yogurt covered raisins.
Yogurt covered raisins, and you got yourself a Least Haunted logo. So that's what I would do. What would you do for the cereal?
Well, I was thinking more like I was gonna do like a kind of Lucky Charms clone. If it's gonna be like a breakfast cereal that like kids are gonna buy and give away premiums.
What's the mascot?
Well, it's the ghosts.
Oh, okay. But
And
like,
they're marshmallow ghosts.
do they have like do they? I mean, if they're branding to kids, is there like a commercial where the ghosts like what's the gimmick?
Well, let me describe the cereal first.
All right, sorry.
You're
I'm
getting-
asking too many
You're
questions.
getting into marketing. That's way ahead.
That's everything.
Well, I know.
No
but-
one cares about the cereal. It's all about the marketing.
Well, the thing is, that's the beauty of it. The cereal is, it's just stamped out shapes. Like, if you notice, like, oh, well, never mind. I was going to ask if you had noticed Lucky Charms. So that's a
I am not the
non-starter.
person to ask
That is
about
a
this thing.
non-starter.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, a lot of cereals, they'll just have, like, shapes that
They
are...
print them out.
Yeah, but then
Yeah.
they have the consistency or texture of, like, a Cheerio.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I can imagine this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
okay.
that's your little scale. And then you have little marshmallow
Oh,
ghosts,
nice,
right?
nice.
But then there has to be other marshmallows in there and shapes because it's like a Lucky Charms clone. So you're going to have little mongooses.
Oh, that's fun.
Big feet prints.
That's great. That's great. I like
what
that
else
a lot.
could be in there? You know, and it's like, yeah, then you have
I don't know.
occasionally,
How could you do-
seasonally, or occasionally it's like, as Lucky Charms does, it's like, hey, for a limited time only, get, you know, what would be like a different shape that show up for a brief period?
I don't think we can really have consent and fetishist
No.
Elmo because that's copywritten. And really, if we ever write down consent and fetishist Elmo, that's his name is Helmo.
I think he goes by his
the
legal
H
name.
is silent.
He goes by his birth certificate. His name is Erasmus.
Oh, that's good. Erasmus.
Because that's what Elmo is short for, like Saint like
Holy-
Saint Elmo's fire. Yeah. Saint
Yeah.
Elmo Erasmus. He's Erasmus.
I dig that.
Also, the name
Consent fetishist Erasmus.
the older brother of Charles Darwin, Erasmus Darwin.
Oh,
Elmo.
no kidding.
Elmo D.
Oh yeah, all right. Well, we'll go with that for all times we write it. That somebody
And
might
if we
get
wanted to
litigious.
represent him in art on merchandise, you just change the color of his nose.
Well,
and
that's
he
what
looks
I've
different enough.
That's
that
what I've been trying to figure out.
That's a parody. Then
Yeah,
it becomes the parody.
Yeah, we'll parodize him. Thank you, parody laws. Oh my gosh.
So yeah, you would have occasional guest shapes. Like in the holidays, we would have a holiday version. So you got your Santa Squatch.
Yep. That's good.
Yeah, and then the premiums to be given away would be like something.
Just have an Orson Welles.
No. I think it'd be great if they were like little tiny things you could put like Cracker Jack prizes, but they would be like little like Victorian ghost detecting.
That's
things.
fun.
Like take this nail in a nail in a box of cereal.
Take this rusty, authentic galvanized nail.
Find a nail and a string and like tie them together and make a pendulum and do this and that. It'd be kind of fun stuff like that.
That's good. I
Yeah,
like it.
and
I like the cereal box prize angle. There's a lot you can do with that.
Oh, there's
That's
a lot.
really good.
Cursed records and whatnot.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
It's funny that I didn't even bring that up when we talked about the Monster cereal. I think that one of the premiums they gave away were little flexible, one-sided vinyl records.
I think you did mention that, but we were so sick from cereal at that point that
I didn't make the connection to our special.
Yeah, no, that it came up somehow. Anyway.
All right, let's see what time we're at.
Eventually we will.
If we go about 10 more minutes, it'll be the length of a regular episode.
Cool. Well, we're going to go over that, I have a feeling.
Well, I don't know what the next question is. I don't.
Oh, okay. Do we have any more questions? This is a fly by the seat of your pants unedited episode, everybody.
Some of these are
Cody is
coming
checking right now. These are so hot. They're coming in right now.
Well, those were already addressed in some form or another.
Okay.
Are you going to ask the Discord?
Yeah, I'm just going to say wrapping up.
We're doing it live. Which is an awful meme.
We really aren't doing it live.
No, but... Oh, I heard you.
Yeah, that's me saying any final questions to the Discord. Discord has been our social lifesaver since we left Twitter.
Yeah, that's another thing we should talk about, is just how great the community is.
It's been so nice because it's kind of like jumping off a cliff to leave Twitter.
Yeah.
And it still, I think, has impacted us. It's harder to reach out to people when you don't have that platform. So it was kind of a sacrifice to make the decision. Ultimately, I think it was the right one because moral, what the fuck. Like we don't want to be contributing to all of that.
The latest thing came out today. They actually proved that in the code that they.
I saw, because Elon released the code,
and they found that they are actually like holding down anything that talks about Ukraine.
Yeah, when people mention Ukraine, it doesn't get promoted as much as other things.
That's because
ask us why. Ask us why. It's old geopolitics and putting your thumb on the scale of something that you have become the head of and have been talking forever about it being fair and open and freedom of speechy, except for when you don't want it to be.
Rules for thee, not for me.
You fucking got it. Anyway, fuck Twitter, and we're off of there.
Yep.
And now we're on Discord, and we've been so fortunate to have a nice little established community of very active fans who are friends of ours now, and it's so fucking cool.
Yeah,
I go on there every day or two.
I'm
even
on here
often multiple times a day, depending. And yeah, there's all kinds of people contributing really fun stuff, and it's a neat little community that's developed.
The other night we were on our Monster Squadron hangout room.
Yeah, we have the Discord for anyone listening. You don't have to sign up for the Monster. You don't have to pay us anything. You can just go on Discord. I think you just go on Discord and search for Least Haunted. How do you do this?
Yeah, I think that's how you can find it. The Least Haunted Discord,
Yeah.
or I will have there's usually a link to it in the show notes.
I've had a hard time figuring out how to do a link because I want to just put it right front and center on our website, and I haven't had we'll figure that out. Anyway, anybody can go on the Discord, but there is a special room for just the Monster Squadron patrons.
That's the perk of what they pay for.
Yeah, that's one of the perks. And we did a game night, and it was like, we weren't all playing the same game like an MMORPG. I don't know games. MMORPG. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, it wasn't a multiplayer.
It was just a game, and we were all suggesting what to do, which was actually really fun.
It's this game that's called I'm on something to watch, dude.
You're a security guard looking at different cameras, looking to see when something goes weird, and there's little weird ghostly things. So it's basically like a comparison thing where you keep shifting between camera angles from different rooms, looking for what's
I'm on
changed.
observation duty.
That's
right.
right.
The name of the game.
It sounds simple and maybe boring, but it's super compelling.
And it gets
after a
weird
while, and it gets
creepy.
weirder. There were some very surprising things. I won't give it away, but this is an interesting game.
Yeah.
Anyway, by the time we got to the second game, which was similar except for their ghost is about to attack you, I was falling asleep. And I think I basically, from what I'm told, I started snoring, and everyone thought it was the ghost, so that was the end of the...
So and then we just all left the room, but we didn't I don't think we closed the room. So for a while, if you were in the Monster Squadron, you could have logged on.
You could have logged on to just my face, because I still had the camera on, and I'd had a long day, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna rally, and we were playing this very soothing, creepy game, but I was on my couch sideways, and I had my iPad tilted just right so that my face was there, but it was very dim because there weren't any other lights on, and I was trying my best to keep my eyes open, and they just kept going, and I was like, well, I don't want to kill the party, it must sting. And then I open my eyes, and the screen is blank. I'm like, oh shit, it's an hour later. What happened? Anyway. I'm sorry I missed that, but I had a good time.
Well, yeah, but people could have logged on, and it would have been their own little the Garth show.
You would have had it as the Truman Show, but it would be me.
And speaking of the Truman Show, another great thing that happened this last season on Least Haunted is we did a Truman Show delusion prank on a complete stranger.
That's right, we did. That was the most elaborate thing, and I'm told it was received well.
Yeah, very niche. It was kind of weird. It was we're just gonna... It is kind of weird. Now I think about it. It's a big concept.
It wasn't our idea.
Well, it kind of was.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Well, it was my idea. And it's because we were approached by a fan when we were still on Twitter. This was by, I think they're going by Pajamas Elephant now on there.
Oh, yeah.
Panic at the Bistro.
I think there's still Panic at the Bistro. I'm still on Twitter myself personally, and I think there's still Panic at the Bistro.
But
I don't remember now, huh?
Yeah. So they said, hey, I listened to your show at work. My boss plays it. My manager plays it in the kitchen I work at.
Yeah, he works in a kitchen in Oregon, they apparently a whole kitchen listens to a podcast together, which is insane to me. That a bunch of people, did they all agree to this? I feel like we're torturing a couple people. Yeah. If several people are listening, one person really doesn't want to hear it. I'm so sorry.
And they're probably still listening to it right now. But they're like, hey, yeah, my manager and my good friend Cookie.
Yeah, that was right. Yeah,
listens to the show, and to hear somebody, just to have that knowledge, I now know the name in certain situations about somebody who's listening who doesn't know that I know this.
And it's a unique name. It's not like John.
Yeah. I'm like...
Or Tim or something.
We can fuck with them. You know.
Yes, that was your immediate. It's not like, oh, we'll do something nice and say we love anyone named Cookie. No. You're like, we're gonna make them question their reality, Garth. Come on.
And then it was like, well, it also gave us a perfect time to talk about the Truman Show delusion, which is a real thing.
And that worked out really well.
Yeah, and so we explained what the Truman Show delusion was.
We invented a hypothetical fan named Cookie, I think.
It was a person, just hypothetically, a person that worked in a kitchen in, let's say, Portland named, I don't know, Cookie. And
that's right. That's how we did. And then we came up with, because we got all this other information about him from our fan on Twitter.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, he has this about this, and this about him. They're like 6 or 7 different things. And we randomly drop like, here's our hypothetical question. Let's say he does this and does this. And they were all real. Hoping that Cookie, his brain is melting right now.
Yeah, and
I don't know.
Yeah, until the end of the episode to finally like drop the final detail where it's like, this can't possibly be anybody else but me.
Yeah.
And then, revealed that it was a big prank.
Yeah.
And they were a good sport about it.
Yes.
And so we sent them both some shirts and stickers. And I believe
they deserved it, too.
I believe they have a baby now?
Yeah, I think something like that was happening. There was some important life thing happening. I think that might have been it. Yeah.
So congratulations.
Congratulations, Cookie, if you're still listening out there somewhere.
Let us know. Join our Discord.
Let us know. Yeah, please. We've tried a few other social media. I remember we signed up for Mastodon. I never quite figured it out.
I got the Tumblr that I need to be better about.
The other big one is Tumblr, but that's sort of more of a one-way thing because you're posting blog stuff.
Yeah.
So we've never really found a good alternative to Twitter. Discord is the closest, but it is a bit more of a closed thing.
Yeah.
It's harder to reach out, so we'll see what happens that way. But either way, I mean, things are going really strong in the social media realm. I think we've filled in the gaps Twitter left pretty darn well, I'd say.
Yeah. And now we're moving into Year 4, Season 4.
What's to come?
What is to come
of the Least Haunted podcast?
In the future.
In the distant future?
Well, we of course have the top secret project that if you are on the Discord, you've been following along.
Yeah, we did a bunch of very elaborate clues and stuff for it.
And there's more clues to come.
Yep.
You know.
And a whole lot of other things to do, and the fruits of the labors of the project will probably arrive this summer sometime, I imagine.
Sometime this summer, yeah. We kind of got delayed schedule-wise because of the awful weather that we had over the last month. It was just one apocalypse after the other.
We're finally recovering. It feels like the last of the rain has finally happened, and we're finally getting warm days, and it seems like everything is just de-thawing up here.
Yeah. Still a lot of water. There's water everywhere just pouring out of the ground.
Sure.
You know, which after years of a drought.
Yeah, it's really, you can't complain about it. As bad as it is, and as annoying as it is, hey.
Yeah, we still have ground sliding out in places.
Yeah, we probably won't run out of water by the end of this summer. We'll see.
Hopefully. But yeah, so we got that, and like I said, we have other shows that Sequoidea is working on.
Yeah, you got your very own show. If you can't get enough of Cody once every 2 weeks, you should listen to Cody Cricket. It comes out whenever he fucking feels like it because it's your own show, but more or less once a week.
Yeah, I try to do it weekly, but things have gotten... again, see back to the previous comment about weather stuff, and I've got a few family things going on right now.
Sure.
Nothing bad, just big family events.
Yeah, stuff that you got to be
other
part
obligations,
of.
Yeah. And so I'm get to it when I can, but then there's still a bunch of other shows.
Yeah, there's as we mentioned, Yumi and Squee. There's Hoppy Trails, and are there any others at the moment?
We're working on
it. We have a few.
We talked about my friend's band. We got another one that if you are
let's do a call to action because we have some other ones in the pipeline. It'd be nice to have some.
We need material
before we actually try to do one of these.
Yeah. Okay. So for my friend's band, if you were in a band like the one we described, or you knew somebody, you had friends who were in a band that was in a local music scene, and maybe they got it could be they got almost signed and then things fell apart. Just they're bands that just never quite made it, and you know them. Let us know. Help put us in touch with them. See if they're interested in doing interviews for a podcast.
The idea is it would be like you introduce this band that once was, and then a little bit of backstory. You talk to the people who were in the band. Mm-hmm. Maybe if it's possible, play some music from something they had recorded or some live music that they could record now of songs they did. And it would be a different band showcased, or a different had what once was a band showcased.
Yeah. And then adjacent to that is another show that we're working on that is Fame or Busk. If you are a active musician now who routinely plays coffee shops, small gigs, if you do a lot of busking, like in the name
Fame or Busk.
Contact us as well. We would love to have you on a new show where we're going to, it'll be interviews and a chance for you to showcase your music. So it'll be like you play a song, we talk to you for a bit, find out about, your story, your background, you play another song, and then talk about things you're working on now, and any, plug your socials, plug upcoming events, and then another song or so. Just,
Yep, and if you're in the Bay Area, all the better. We can maybe meet in person. But if you're not, we have the facilities to do remote stuff as well. Oh, obviously, live is always better.
So that would be, So if you can help us out with both of those shows.
Yeah, those are ones that are right now just thoughts. But, once we get a few people that are interested and we can line them up, then they might become real shows.
Yeah, we'd like to have a few in the can.
Yeah, this is one of those things where, you don't want to stretch yourself too thin or anything. So those would probably be not like super regular. But you never know. If it catches on.
Yeah. And we still have the, I think I've mentioned it, I've been teasing this one for a couple of years now, but it is still in the works. The fully scripted show, fully foleyed and scripted.
Fully foleyed.
Yeah, like an actual radio comedy drama action adventure series. Still working on that, working on scripts, composing music for it. But we want to have a lot of that, most of a season.
I was going to say, you'll want to have a season basically
done,
in the can.
And I think that's going to be this summer.
Nice.
I might even, me and the other person working on the show, we might have to sequester ourselves away for a week at my cabin.
That's the way to do it. Well, I'll give any help I can. Yeah. I'd love to be an adjacent producer or
which also means, in a couple of months, we might also be reaching out to look for casting people to provide some, fun voices for the show as well.
So there's a lot of stuff going on there. As far as the Least Haunted podcast itself, we're just going to keep on trucking. I have a couple more ideas for the spin-off show, The Least Conspired.
We have
we never did the we did all the preamble and never actually got into the 80s of all of those people in the CIA trying to bust clouds and the men who stare at goats shit. We never really got to that.
No.
So that'll be coming up. I need to finish reading a book first and have not really had time to sit down and read this book. Once I do, and I have to not only read the book, but look at a few other sources. I don't want to just use one source.
Yeah.
We'll be doing a second concluding episode to The Least Conspired as well.
And we'll try to get also, hey, if you know anybody who'd make a good guest, also, if you have a way to connect us, that'd be great. And then also more calls to action. This is where I'm like, hey, look, we're going into another year here.
Yes.
Share the show if you know anybody that might be interested, or if you're like on a subreddit somewhere and people bring something up like this, like, hey, check out the show.
Grassroots type things are pretty much the only way to do it, and Cody and I cannot be getting on Reddit plugging our own shit all the time.
Yeah.
People notice that you do that.
Yeah.
It's not cool.
Yeah, that's another ethical kind of thing.
Well,
I'm not going to make a fake account to plug my own show.
No, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
No. So, it's got to be real grassroots.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think that's about it for our anniversary.
Yeah. Monster Squadron.
Who is in the Monster Squadron? I have one more question for the show.
Yes.
Where did you come up with the term Monster Squadron?
Oh, it's actually because there was a movie called The Monster Squad.
I was wondering.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I don't want to. The Doom Generation did an episode all about it.
Oh, okay. So
it's a movie that I personally didn't actually grow up with this one as much as I was. It's like you were either a Goonies person, you were either a Goonie or a Monster Squad.
Let me mark off while you do this, because I'm actually running very low on Garth's Corner references. For the last over a year, I've been working people into the Garth's Corner song. That's part of being in the Monster Squadron. You get to be part of the Garth's Corner song. So and consequently, I've been making them more long and elaborate because some were, and I don't want anybody to be shortchanged. But I don't know if I'm missing anybody. I think I've basically done everyone, so I'm going to listen to this list and make a note if there's anyone I haven't done.
Okay.
Okay, ready.
Let me drink some water here. Travis Alexander.
Done.
By Barbarian.
Yep.
Rachel Krieger.
Yeah, I did Rachel Krieger, yeah.
Tom Dahl.
No, I did not do Tom Dahl. You're coming, Tom Dahl. I'm coming for you, Tom. I'm coming for you, Tom Dahl. All right, next.
Justin Duckham. I know that one.
Yep.
Kelly Flynn.
Yep.
Gunnar Franks.
Yep.
Carla Harrington.
Yep.
Lord Havelock. That was last week.
Yeah, I just did. Yep.
New Jared.
You know what? New Jared is going to round out the list because he did get mentioned, and that's how it all started, but he didn't get his own song. So, New Jared, don't worry, I have not left you
Brian
out.
Lamb, that was that cattle mutilation episode, I think?
Yeah, because, lamb and cattle, I don't know.
Alicia Overton, she had a scalpel, I think.
Yeah, she did.
Jordan Ramey.
Did I do Jordan? I think
so.
You did. Yeah. I did. Yeah, I did Jordan.
And Blue Roan.
I just did. Okay, so Tom Dahl and New Jared are the only ones left for the Garth's Corners. That's crazy.
Once we get some more Monster Squadron members.
Maybe we will after this episode. People will be so impressed by our diligence. And they'll want to support us to keep us doing this more because it takes a lot of time and effort to do these shows.
It takes a lot of time. And
a lot of editing, a lot of
and yet we keep wanting to do more shows and more things.
Well, that's the thing. As a creative person, you're always battling the part of you that wants to start new shit because it's so fun to start things.
Okay, I think to end it fully, I think we did something like this on our last 2 anniversary episodes.
Yes.
I think we ended it by asking ourselves where we want to see the show in a year.
That's a good one. That's the kind of question that I hate answering because I don't like to think about
the future.
The future. No, I don't. Where do you see yourself in a year? Well, no, I think as last time I probably said, well, I just want more of everything. More. I want to have produced more shows and maybe have more people listening and just keep on going in the same direction. Mm-hmm. I'd say on top of that, I like the idea of incorporating video episodes, not too often because they are a lot of extra work. But we're in the background here at the Least Haunted headquarters working out more permanent ways of having sets set up. Because that last one we did of the alien autopsy, I literally set up a whole bunch of curtains in my bedroom here. Yeah. And, I got it to work and I put the lights in, but it took 2 hours to get rigged up. And it's you can't really do that every time. But once we have an established place...
Yeah.
It'll be a little easier to do that. And so I can see doing more multimedia stuff.
Definitely.
And trying to just reach out. The Discord is a really good one. Mastodon hasn't quite worked out yet, but maybe I haven't given it a shot. We don't really want to do TikTok because I don't want to... It feels like that'll just spy on people, and I don't know. There's a weirdness to it. We don't. So it'd be nice to find other ways of finding new fans, and I'm hoping we can figure that out. Mm-hmm. Beyond that, I don't really have any other ambitions other than keep on keeping on, and also, and I think we've been really good about this. I don't want anything to get too comfortable and stagnant. It's always good to change up the gimmicks the show does, change up the way we approach things, and I'm always for hey, we've always done it this way, let's try something else.
Yeah.
So I hope we keep innovating and we don't get too stuck always doing the same thing. I don't think we have yet. And I only bring it up because I want to make sure we still don't. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
More multimedia. I would... Ideally, I'd like to see Sequoidea have an office.
That would be cool.
Where we all could go
to
the same place and work.
Yeah.
I would also like to see, within a year from now, I'd like to be in the position where we could actually start bringing on other creators' content onto Sequoidea.
That would be cool, because I feel like there's a lot of people who have podcasts out there that do it small time, kind of like we have been, but we've been continually getting equipment and gaining all this experience, and then it's kind of becoming more of a professional production. And there will be some point in the not too distant future where we can bring other people in and help facilitate it and make them part of the network. And I think that would be amazing.
So I'd like to be in that kind of position. Yeah, and just keep, like you said, doing a good product, keep turning that out, keeping our fans happy. I really want to get merch going, like for real. Like,
yeah, we've always talked about it, and we've made t-shirts, and we've given the t-shirts to Monster Squadron people.
Yeah.
But we haven't really. It'd be nice to actually have like a digital online store.
Yeah.
I think that's a great ambition for the next year. Yeah. And not only shirts, but there's a million
kinds of things. We have ideas
things.
For things all the time.
Yeah, there's a million little trinkety things that are in the $10 to $30 range that are cool and that we could make really well.
Yeah.
And they'd be super high quality and have our brand on it in a neat way that doesn't feel like you're...
Yeah, the hard part is... getting the startup capita for a lot of these things. Like, you have to have the money to invest. Like, shirts are not cheap to produce.
It's been hard, and like you can produce them in large quantities, but you need a whole lot of money to start.
Well, and the other thing is we want them to have superior quality.
Yeah.
And we also made I think I kind of put this down, but any merchandise that we source needs to come from either a unionized producer.
Yeah.
Or one that actually gives a shit about their workers.
Yeah.
Or on a one-to-one basis with the creator themselves.
Well, I mean, that was your idea, but like you're right, and I agree with it wholeheartedly.
Yeah, I want it to be ethical.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because there are a lot of...
we don't want to be having like sweatshops half a world away full of kids making our products. That would
getting
be
shirts that, within a few washes, the thing's gone.
Because there is a lot of crap, like shit material out there.
And I know that there are a few services where you can upload your artwork and they'll just print it on demand, but they're not the best quality.
You can imagine it, they wouldn't be, and they
are. Or it's like, I just want to feel good about...
Well, yeah. It's the ethical thing about making sure no one's getting screwed over in the production, and also making sure the people who are buying it aren't getting an inferior
because we make this thing... This is a handcrafted podcast.
Yeah, this is an artisanal crop. I've always said it's an artisanal podcast.
Yeah, we do this, it's our art. It is our art.
Yes.
And... we like to recognize each other for the work we put into it, and likewise we see other people who are doing their art and services, and we want to make sure that they are being compensated and also being recognized for that. And so when you do these large scale productions, you usually lose that.
Yes.
Someone somewhere is getting screwed.
Yep. The bigger you get, that tends to happen. Then eventually the juggernaut of Sequoidea Productions 30 years from now will go public and just it'll be the end of civilization.
A good story is the Maximum Fun Network, started by Jesse Thorne.
Oh yeah, they're great.
Yeah. That's where Bim Bam and
I've often mentioned my favorite show, The Greatest Generation, and the Greatest Trek, Star Trek podcast. They're on there too.
And so I like their model of being listener supported. That'd be kind of, if we did a full on, like, eventually Sequoidea Network might move into that kind of a model. But they also just announced that they are now a co-op. Like, the whole company is owned by all the creators who are on there. They all
that's really cool.
Cooperatively own it now.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wonder what that means, considering we're going way into the weeds on stuff, everybody. But no. I wonder what that means, like, technically for everyone working there versus how it was before. But that's interesting. It's nice to see people trying to avoid becoming evil when they become a big company.
Well, I really do respect and admire Jesse Thorne.
Me too.
For his moral convictions, and ethics, and integrity.
Especially once you start to get real big. It's got to be harder and harder to say no to, like, I can make a lot of money doing this.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that'll do it.
May our next year be fruitful, and Cody and I not turn to the dark side. I don't think it'll happen.
Yeah. Oh no. Unless it's some kind of weird backwards carousel of time, mishap.
That would be a fun theatrical episode where we become unethical podcasters. Anyway, we can talk about that later.
Multiverse, we have to fight evil versions of us from another parallel
universe. There you go. That's how you do it. That's it.
I just finally started watching the Marvel shows.
Oh, the shorts.
No, I just saw Loki.
Loki's fun. Did you like it?
Yeah, it was good.
I really enjoyed Loki. Yeah, those shows there's some good ones in there.
But yeah, now I'm like thinking, oh, multiverse.
There's a lot of that.
Anyway,
see you all. What's our next episode? Do we know yet? It's coming up. We're recording this a little ways beforehand because Cody's going to be out of town when we would normally record.
Yeah.
So that's like a month away for us.
Yeah, I'm going. I'm going camping in the Pinnacles National Park.
I fucking love the Pinnacles. I went there every 6 months for like over a decade in my childhood because
stargazing.
Well, yeah. My dad helped out at the doing astronomy classes at Cabrillo College down in. Where is it? SoCal, Capitola, that area? Aptos, whatever. They're all kind of the same blurry, down there. Anyway,
Santa Cruz's tail.
Yeah, the tail of Santa Cruz, down in the South Santa Cruz. Anyway, they would do overnight weekend astronomy / geology classes on the weekend, and Dad helped with the astronomy ones, and it was twice a year, and so it was like, oh, going camping. So I know the Pinnacles well. I haven't been since I was a teenager, though.
Since it was become a national park.
Is it?
Yeah. No, that was one of the things Obama did. He turned like a whole bunch of national monuments into national parks.
That's fucking awesome.
So, yeah.
God, Obama.
All right. So,
on that wistful note, have a great evening, all y'all, and we'll catch you on our next episode. Our next up is episode 1 of season 4 of the Least Haunted Podcast.
I carefully avoided sidestepped your question on what it's about. So
I did not notice that. Well done. All right, goodbye, everybody.
Until next time. Remember, the only thing that's haunted
is you.
The Least Haunted Podcast is recorded before a dead studio audience and is a presentation of Sequoidea Productions LLC.